Hey all, today we are getting after it right away and we are deep cleaning this house and getting it ready for the fall time and just absolutely refreshing it. I have two little kids and so it is just been time to get after it and get these things clean, and since the motivation struck, we are getting after it. So get your favorite drink and start cleaning with me. So if you're new here, hey, my name's Jamison and I am a stay-at-home mom. I've got a daughter, Josie, who's 2.5, and a son, Jax, who turns 1 at the end of this month. And so really his birthday party and having people over was kind of my motivation to get started. But as I kept going, I just kept finding the next task and the next task, and it was like the best kind of steamroll that could possibly happen because I was able to get after my house and get things clean. I can't tell you the last time that so many different things in my house were deep cleaned at the same time. Honestly, it was probably before my daughter was born. We did the 2 kiddos under 2. My kids are 18 months apart, and so it has been just hectic, and honestly, wiping down the counters at the end of the day sometimes doesn't even get done because of how exhausted I am and how crazy our life is. And so I'm so excited to be getting not only the crumbs vacuumed out of this couch, but later on you'll see my husband is amazing and tackles the shampooing and cleaning of our couch cushions. So super thrilled about that. And there's just more and more deep cleaning to come. So we are up in Josie Girl's room now. I am just really mainly dusting the air vents in our house, but since I've got the duster out, I decided to go ahead and wipe down other surfaces around her room and the other rooms upstairs. I honestly am not normally a duster. I can't tell you the last time I got this dusting. I don't know, what do you want to call it, like a wand or whatever, but it made things so much easier when I was using a disinfectant spray and wiping it down, because I was not wiping up dust. I was actually cleaning the surface, which, makes sense, obviously, but I don't want to have to go through it twice and dust it and wipe it down most of the time. So today it was kind of a novelty. So this is deep cleaning for me, and you might be looking at this and thinking, girl, I do this weekly. But for me in my stage of life, this is deep cleaning for me right now. And if you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I can't even fathom getting out, a duster. I can barely load my dishwasher and put a pod in it and run it every single night. I understand. I've been there, done that. I'm sure I'll be back there. God willing, we have another kiddo. And so just, lean into your phase of life. I definitely want to be a source of motivation for you, but I don't want to be a source of pressure. So if you're watching this with your feet up and you are just relaxing, good for you. But if you're watching this and you're getting after it and you're cleaning, good for you. Just I hope that I can motivate you to be whatever you need in this moment. So you can see our air vents there. We're in desperate need. I literally have zero memory of ever cleaning these. I hope I've cleaned them since we've been in our house for 5+ years, but I have no memory. So they were disgusting and desperately in need of some cleaning. Now, these dressers, they have a groovy, like wood grain texture to them, so it's really hard to wipe them down because paper towels and even the microfiber cloths get stuck to them. So I think I'm going to be dusting them from now on, unless it's like really dirty and actually needs, some disinfectant germ wipe down. But this worked out really well and I was very pleased with it, and it just made our bedroom feel so fresh after dusting the dressers and the nightstands in there. So this is the fan in our primary bedroom, and it is, quite frankly, embarrassing, the amount of dust that's on it, but I normally have it running literally 24/7, and the other day it got turned off, and I was laying in bed and I looked up and I noticed the dust and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a problem. And so I knew I wanted to take care of it and tackle it, and so since I was taking care of it and tackling it in our bedroom, I decided to go ahead and take care of it in all of the bedrooms upstairs. All the bedrooms have fans upstairs, and then we also have a fan downstairs in our family room. But the primary bedroom was by far the most disgusting. So I just used another dust, the Swiffer, I think is the brand, duster pad for the lights and for the fan blades. But in our bedroom, I actually used the pillowcase hack, and I don't know if you've heard of it or seen it, but it works really well. So you just take an old pillowcase and you slide it on the fan blade and it captures all the dust, so there's not dust going absolutely everywhere. You'll see when I'm even doing it just on this air vent here, the dust was kind of like flying down, and so it can kind of make it a little bit tricky. But since I was doing it over my bed, I wanted to make sure the dust was limited, and so you'll see later on how that hack works. Okay, so for all my parents of little kiddos out there, I heard this, I think it was on Instagram, but I heard this tip, and ever since I've heard it, I have not thought about cleaning in my life differently. So they said, if you can do it while your kids are awake, do it while they're awake, and keep their nap time kind of a sacred time for you. Now, I'm not perfect by any means, but when my daughter was born, especially when she was under a year old, and I was a former teacher, and so I didn't go back to work until she was 6 months old. So really in that first 6 months of her life, I felt like if her eyes were open, I had to be focused on her 100% and entertaining her, and that just is unrealistic, and it creates bad habits for you and it creates bad habits for your kiddos, because they need to also learn how to entertain themselves. But not going down that road, not going down that tangent, but I try my very, very best to do anything and everything that I can do while they're awake. And it makes it very difficult to accomplish tasks, and it just makes it longer. But it is fun to do it with my daughter, especially. My son doesn't really get it. He likes to crawl around with us, but he's not like actively helping. But Josie loves to help, and she likes to pretend that she's doing things with me, and she just likes to be around me and hang out. Most 2.5-year-olds want to just be around their people, and so it's so fun to be able to clean and do this with her. But it does take longer. So if you're in a phase of life where you're trying to clean with your kiddos and it's not working for you, just hang in there. It gets better. You might not be able to finish your entire task, or you see here I've got like 5 windows I'm wiping down. Maybe you only wipe down 2 before they break down, but at least it's something that you're getting done while they're awake instead of while they're asleep. And then you can actually recharge and fill your own cup while they're sleeping. And now that I've been trying to do some of these tasks while they're awake, Josie and Jax are getting used to it, and they're able to entertain themselves. And now I'm not saying I'm going off and cleaning for 4 hours. Not at all. I find those pockets of time where I think that they're entertained, or that they have enough stamina and they're well rested and they're fed, all those things. But if you can do it while they're awake, do it while they're awake, and keep their nap times a time where you can fill your own cup. So this is where we keep our toddler standing tool. So it definitely gets really beat up in terms of food, drips, and messes. So I was just taking a hot rag and getting after all the stuck on grime, and then I will go back and do some all-purpose spray once I get all the sticky stuff up. This high chair has seen better days, that's for sure. With our next kiddo, I definitely want to get a new high chair. This high chair has worked really well and been good to us, but it is just a pain to clean. When I went back and looked at the filming footage of cleaning this, just going through with a hot rag to get all of the grime off took me like 15 minutes, and it just is so time consuming to clean it, so then I never want to clean it, so then it gets extremely bad. So I am thinking about looking into a new high chair that's easy to clean for the next kiddo. If you have any high chair recommendations, let me know. I am willing to, look into anything as long as it's easier to clean than this. I wish I could speed it up in real life and make it this quick to clean it out, but that's just not how it works. So I am going back in with an all-purpose cleaner just to actually get the stool and the high chair cleaned up. But I have found that even though I'm doing 2 steps, first with the hot rag and then going back in with the cleaner, it saves me time and actually gets it way cleaner because the hot rag can get off so much more gunk than just the spray can. Even if I spray it and let it sit, the hot rag works wonders and it does it way quicker. Okay, these straps are the literal worst, so I am going to try and find some that have silicone straps or something because This is just disgusting, and then it takes 85 years to get it like semi-clean. So I have clearly a lot of buildup on my cabinets, and I'm just using a warm rag to get it off. Typically around the stove gets pretty messy just due to the nature of cooking, and the other cabinets don't get as messy. But I'm just going through and giving every single cabinet door a wipe down just to make sure we can all start fresh. I was not able to have the time to go back with the disinfectant spray, but like I've said in other videos, I'm trying to give myself grace and just being happy that I was able to get, honestly, like months of grime off these cabinet doors, and hopefully I will find time to spray them down with a disinfectant spray or with an all-purpose spray, but even if I don't, it's still better than it was. So now Jared is hard at work getting our couch cushions shampooed and cleaned, which it desperately needed, and I'm going to head upstairs with the kiddos and take care of more cleaning. So you maybe can tell by my face, this isn't a perfect science, and there was still dust clumps that were coming off, and I probably could have done this, in a better way, but I think it worked so well for removing the dust and capturing most of it in the bag or in the pillowcase so it didn't get all over my bed. I will give you a little tip. I clean the fan, and then the next day I wash my sheets. So even if you do get some dust that goes everywhere, if you plan on washing your sheets soon after, it's really no big deal. So after all of the fans are taken care of upstairs, I got the vacuum out and started to get to work. I will say vacuuming with 2 little kids is no joke, but I wanted to get started and get this all vacuumed so that Jared could come up and do the carpet cleaner upstairs. We figured when we get it out, we might as well just go to work and try and get every single area carpet clean, because we're gonna have to clean the carpet cleaner and we already have it out anyway, so we might as well just take care of everything. And it always smells so good after you clean the carpets, and it just is it's so satisfying when you see the gross water come out, but to also know you've gotten that out of your carpets, and it just makes you feel like it's so clean. So I'm moving on to the bathrooms. Like I said, we are tackling so much in this video, and as I'm sitting here doing the voiceover, I feel so good about the state of my home. It's been way too long, but it just has been the phase of life I'm in, and now that Jax is almost 1, we're starting to be able to give them activities to do and take care of things while they're awake. So I am tackling our half bath downstairs on our main level. I love the oranges and magnolia wallpaper. It's just a peel and stick, and I did it myself. Definitely isn't perfect, but it gives this bathroom some life. And I'm going to clean the toilets, clean the countertops, and I eventually will mop the floors. Oh, and I also will clean the mirror, and then I will just like rinse and repeat that in the kids' bath upstairs and in our primary bath upstairs. If this wall doesn't scream, I have children and toddlers. I don't know what will. We have our craft cabinet right next to it, and Josie just decided to use the wall as, you know, her space to make a masterpiece. But luckily, this magic eraser just took care of it and got the marker and the crayon off. So now I am just vacuuming up the crumbs from wiping off countertops, wiping off the cabinet doors, and all those things. I, save the floors for last, so they do typically get tossed off my list of to-dos at the end of the day when I'm tired. So I was glad to be able to not only vacuum, but I also got the mop out and mopped. And if you've seen my other videos, that just doesn't happen for me weekly, and I'm lucky if it happens monthly, so I was really excited to take care of this. So you'll see I'm kind of going back and forth. I was doing bathrooms and then doing the floors, and now I'm back to the bathrooms. And really it just all depends on where my kids are playing and if I've got a kiddo napping, because if I've got someone sleeping, I'm not about to mess up their nap by vacuuming or doing something loud, or even really like right next to the room. So my primary bathroom butts up to my son's room, and so I just didn't want to screw up his nap, so I waited till he woke up, and we are in here getting it all clean now. So I got this pumice stone to try and remove some of our hard water stains, but I think maybe it's just been too long that they've sat on there. So this worked, but we definitely still have like stains and drips that I just can't get out. So if you have tips on how to get rid of the hard water stains or just get rid of any stains in your toilet that just are like literally stuck on, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your tips. So I realized I was out of my scrubbing bubble spray, which is what I normally use on the toilets and on the sink countertops, just because it tends to take things off quicker and easier, and it just, I don't know, maybe it's like a mental thing. I just feel like it's cleaner, but of course I ran out, so I'm using just an all-purpose spray. Mrs. Meyer's is what I have, just like stocked in my bathroom, and it worked really well. But I will say I definitely need to go out and get some of that scrubbing bubbles for inside the bowls of the sink, because those need some extra love. And a quick pause to show you how disgusting this water is from shampooing the carpets upstairs. It's so gross. But next time we did dump that in the toilet. We were not thinking, we dumped it in the sink, but don't worry, the sink got clean, so no need to worry about that. Now I am taking this carpet tool, which is honestly one of my favorite cleaning tools ever, and I'm going over the stairs with it. I have such a hard time vacuuming the stairs and then feeling like it's actually clean. So normally I'll go over the top of it and vacuum it and get up big pieces of things like random crumbs or and then I will go through with this carpet tool, and it gets like all of the dog hair, all of the things stuck in the carpet up, and it's amazing, and it gets the carpet so clean. But this time I did not go over it with the vacuum, and I still think it worked just fine. I did have little pieces of things that kind of like popped up, but I was able to just to add them to the pile of gross that I was collecting, and it always makes the stairs look so fresh and fluffy and just like the carpet's brand new. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, and I will see you back here next week.